Genesis chapter 14, verse 2. That these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Zibna, king of Admah, and Shemiber, king of Zeboim, and king of Bela, which is Zoar. This place is Zoar now. Bela is now Zoar. All these were joined together in the valley of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea, which is the Dead Sea nowadays. 12 years they serve Chedor Laomer. And the 13th year they rebelled. So they were servant unto him. And they fought against him now. You know, they came together. Be like, let's kill this guy. And in the 14th year came Sedor Laomer, and the kings that were with him, and smote the Rephaims, which are the giants, in Ashtaroth Karnaim. You know what they was worshiping, right? This is Ashtaroth, which is what the Israelites were worshiping in the book of Judges. Judges 2 and 13. And they forsook Yahweh and served Baal, or Baal, and Ashtaroth. And the Zuzims, which are also giants, in Ham. So you had the Rephaims, and you had which are giants, the book of Numbers, which are Hamites. These are Zuzims, which are Hamites too, and the Emims in Shaveh Kiriathaim. Okay. These are giants. These are giants. These are giants. I think these were the old giants, by the way. These are giants. These are giants. And the Horites in their Mount Seir unto Paran, which is by the wilderness. I think it's the wilderness of Paran here. Then maybe here. The wilderness of Paran. If I'm correct, this here. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that one. Okay. Unto El Paran. Here, Mount Seir and El Paran, because Mount Seir is here. Here is Mount Seir. Oh, here's Hor. Ah! I thought it was upstairs. I thought it was upstairs, right? Ah. Oh. Okay. I put it here. Forgot. I don't know. I forgot it. Anyway, so here's Mount Seir, and then here you have here's Mount Seir. There's another Seir, by the way, in the middle of somewhere up there, but that's not what this is. This is Mount Seir here, and yeah, and here we had the how you call that thing, the border thing mentioned in the book of Numbers 34. If I'm no Deuteronomy 34. What was it? Shit. What was it again? Numbers 34. Yeah, Numbers 34. Okay, cool. Let me see something. Hor. Where's Hor? Here. From Mount Hor until Hamath. So from bottom to top. But it went further than that. It went all the way to the river Euphrates. But this is just giving more details concerning the individual lands and their individual land names and stuff like that. Anyway, so let me see. I think that was the Hor that I was looking for. I'm not sure. I think it was here, Mount Hor. Okay, anyway, you had here from this wilderness here, which is what I was just reading about. Damn, where was I? Okay, the Horites. I think they had Mount Hor, and the Horites in their Mount Seir unto El Paran, which is by the that's the wilderness. Yeah, the wilderness of Paran, the wilderness of Sinai, And he had Hor, and the Horites were here. Mount Hor, and the Horites were here. Let me see, which is shown. Let me see. I think it's going to be shown here. Wait, let me go on. Or is it here? Genesis 36. I think it's here. But let me go on. So, and okay, 7. Genesis 14 and 7. And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is by Kadesh. Kadesh Barnea, if I'm correct. Yeah, Kadesh Barnea, because it's next to the Amalekites. So Kadesh Barnea, which is here. No, that one. Here, this one. Kadesh Barnea, near Amalek. And smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites, which dwelt in Hazez. Wow, Hazez, huh? Hazezon Tamar. Hazezon Tamar. I know Tamar is actually, I saw it on the map. Oh boy, I'm not gonna find it right now. I know I saw it somewhere. Tamar. No, not Timnah. If I'm correct, it would be then Timnah. I saw it, but don't remember specifically where it was. Or I'll just leave it. If I find it, I'll hit him up. I'll hit you up. And there went out of the king. What? And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, which are all mentioned here. Here. Basra, which is Edom land. You had Zeboim, you had Admah, you had Bela, which is Zoar, and you had Gomorrah here. Sodom is this region, and the valley of Siddim, which is this whole place over here. And yeah, so Kiriath. I just read this actually in the scriptures. Just read this. Going on, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar, and they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim, which is the valley of Sodom. Is that region Siddim, right? Deuteronomy chapter 2 verse 10. The Emims dwelled therein in time past, a great people, and many, and tall, as the Anakims. So they were not the Anakims, they are all also like the Anakims, which are giants, by the way. Deuteronomy chapter 9 explains that to you about the Anakims. Here, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest and of whom thou hast heard. Who can stand before the children of Anak? No man. So it says right here, which also were accounted giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Emims. So the Moabite called them Emims. Yeah? Did I? Or was it the other one with the Z? Where did I put? This one was not the same. This one was the same as them, if I'm correct, right? Because it says it right here. Well, let me read it again. Which also were accounted giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Emims. So oh, no. Okay, the Emims is still different from this one. Yeah. I know that I saw another place where it says, I think it was this one then, where they called them another name. This one. The Ammonites called them this name, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. I need to read it again. Sorry about that. But let me jump on to here. Verse 20, Deuteronomy chapter 2. I just read 10 and 11. Oh yeah. 12. The Horims, which is Mount Hor. The Horims also dwelt in Seir before time, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their stead, as Israel did unto the land of his possession, the Canaanites. We did the same to the Canaanites. And then Esau did the same to the Horites, because Horim is Horites, but they spelled it with the M here. You can check that. Wait, let me see. This is the same people. Let me see. Genesis 36 and 20. The Horites, which is Hebrew 27:52. Hebrew 27:52. Horite, cave dweller. The original cave dwellers are the Horites. And then Esau went into their land and he became the cave dweller. You have to remember that. So when you see these Roman pillars, I'm just giving an example of Lebanon. This is Lebanon. When you see these Roman pillars in Lebanon, which is the land of Canaan, you will think like these are Roman pillars. No, they're not. They're Hamite pillars. This is in Mount Seir. Here, mountain. Here, Caucasus Mountains here. No, wait, that's not, no, that's not Mount Seir. No, that's good. This is a very good, because that's not the same. It's Mount Seir Mountains, not Caucasus Mountains. Caucasus Mountains is somewhere else. Caucasus Mountains is above Turkey, going into Russia. That's the Caucasus Mountains, and this is clearly not Russia. But you had these holes in the rocks. This is Mount Seir, and then the Edomites. How you call them? The Horites built that, but you had different sizes among them, right? Because you had other ones with this. These ones are giants. You see how small the person is for the entrance to get in? Yeah. Look how small the people are. Let me see something. See? Yeah. Who the hell built that? And who the hell built this out of solid stone? Like, it's not cement. This is literally stone. It's hard as hell. It's a mountain, and they build homes for the giants in there. Look, in order to get up there, you need to climb. Who the hell went in there? It's not a regular person that did this. There's no reason for you to make such a big entrance. First and foremost, back in the days, that's why people had here. That's why people had fenced cities, because you had criminals. They would just come and take your stuff, boy. Fenced cities, fenced city. They would just come. The Chaldeans were one of them. Here, you had this back in the day so that you couldn't do that. You know, you lived in fear for robbers. You don't just build a city and then leave it unprotected. But the giants were not afraid. Why would they be afraid of you? They'll step on you, boy. They're gonna literally step on you. Like you're pew pew. They step on you. And that's just one example. This is one. And this is another one, as you can see here clearly. This one is different. And this one is different. This one is a little bit more in interest. It's also giants because look how small these people are. But you know what the thing is? They're devils. They do this on purpose because they're not going to show you the inside. And they're not going to show you very good pictures that gives the example of a fact of the how you call that thing? The size of this thing. They're doing it on purpose. But if you go search on Bing, you're gonna find a little more. Why are they filming from so far and only that you can find online? People that do this don't really understand what they're doing. Yeah, it is Edomite that did it, but it's Edomite that stole it from the Hamites, as you can see it right here. They stole it from Ham. Because those were the children that were, so it says right here, Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 20. That also was accounted a land of giants. So also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time, and the Ammonites called them Zamzumim. See, that's the one that I was looking for here. They were called them here. Where is it? Where is it again, eh? Wow. Oh, sorry. Zizims. Okay, that was in Genesis 14, sorry. Ammonites call them Zamzimims, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims. But Yahweh destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead, as he did to the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horims. Deuteronomy 2, right? The Horims from before them, and they succeeded them. So Esau succeeded the Horims, which are the Horites, with a T. Later on it's spelled with a T. And dwelled in their stead even unto this day. So Genesis, no, Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 22. I think I put it here. No. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 22. No. Okay, let me go here. Deuteronomy 2, verse 22. So it shows you Deuteronomy 2 and 22. The Horims, right? Now it says here Hebrew 27:52. Hey, what the? Hebrew 27:52. Horite. It's the same thing. They call them Horims there, but it's Horites. Well, other places is Horites, here is Horims. So it might confuse you if you was to read this without the Hebrew, without like books back in the days and stuff like that. But nowadays we got the internet, so we can study better and faster. You know, you can be of quick learning, quick spirited, like Isaiah chapter 10. No, Isaiah 11 says about the Lord Yahushai, he shall make him of quick understanding. And you're going to get it just like that. Boop! Right? That's what the Heavenly Father is going to give unto the people, his people, that he wants to make you understand. You're going to get it just like that. Make you of quick understanding. So those are the Horites, right? Called Horimites, Horim, but these are the Horites. And let me see something that if I put here. Okay, you have the Horites, Genesis chapter 36, which are the real cave dwellers. This is actually not 100% correct. The reason why it's not 100% correct is because this is from the Horites, and that man was named Seir. It was a man named Seir, and then that land was named after that man, the land of Seir. Seir is a man. He was most likely a hairy man too. And then you have Greece, which is Edom, Esau, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain, United States. They all modeled after Ham. This is one of the reasons why these Edomites glorified the Canaanites, which they call Phoenicians, and they glorified the Mizraimites, which they call Egyptians. They love them. They glorify them. They put them on high. But they racist too, because they will not acknowledge that they're dark-skinned people. that's a fucking devil. You know, they glorify someone, but it's like the king of rock and roll. Here, boom. And they're not going to teach you that rock and roll is actually 100% black music, like black everything. But they're going to teach the new generations, why music, why I tell you, country music too. You know, they make it into the own. They make it, you know, they put their faces and stuff like that. Right, and then Horite means cave dweller. And then you have here the book of Genesis 36, verse 20. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite. Seir is a man. And what did he get? who inhabited the land. What is his son? First son, Lotan, and Shobal, and Zibeon, and Ana, and Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir, where? In the land of Edom. It might confuse you, because you think like, wait a minute, so it's the land of Edom. Yeah, it became the land of Edom. It was the land of Seir. Just like how we speak the language of Canaan. It is the land of Canaan. It was, now it was. It was the land of Canaan. So when it refers to the language of Canaan or the land of Canaan, it's talking about the Canaanites, but the Israelites live there in their stead. And here in Mount Seir, the Edomites lived in the stead of the Horites, or Horim, whatever. But I say the Horites because I don't want to confuse myself and confuse you. It's just Horites. Let's keep it at that one. And then from here, verse 20 until verse 30, Duke Dishan, Duke Ezer, the Duke Dishan. These are the dukes that came of Hori. See, they play around again, but Hori are the Horites. Here, that man. Seir, the Horite. They call him also Hori. They call him Horim with an M. You know, among their dukes in the land of Seir. Okay, and then come the kings of Edom. That's another one, another thing again. But from verse 20 until verse 30 are the how you call them? Are the Hamites. You know, from Hor. Oh, hold on, wait a minute, sorry. Right. And then above that is Esau. From 19, sorry. From 8 until 19 is talking about Esau. And then from 20 and 3 to 30 is talking about Seir, the man named Seir, the Canaanite, the Horite. Here, Hori. The children of Lotan were Hor. He had another son named Hori. And the dukes that came from Hori, which are the Horites. Eventually, they're Horite. All of them are Horites, but anyway. And then here comes Edom again, with his kings and stuff like that. And there's a whole thing going on, because Hadad is a Syrian name. But that's a whole nother story. I'll leave it at that for now. Because they took stuff over from others, and therefore they started to call their names after themselves. Meanwhile, they're not them. But to the understanding of the scriptures by reading, you're gonna know, like, oh, that's what they did. They caused a lot of confusion in the world. Like, oh, that's what you did, devil, you demon, you evil person, right? Okay. Now, Genesis chapter 27, verse. Let me see something. What did I put here? Oh, no, that's something else. Verse 14. Right. Okay. So, okay, I think I'm done with that. Genesis 8, no. Okay, don't need to do that. No, don't need to do that at all. Okay, cool. Right, so going back to over here, 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse. So my point of going all there in the Valley of Salt and the giants and all that type of stuff, and the Horites that used to be there, it was all from the Canaanites. And then the Most High gave it to Esau. And then they succeeded them there. I think they had wars. In the beginning, they were friendly because Esau made children with these people. And later on, Esau overgrew them most likely, and he took them over. There were giants among them too. Yeah, man. There were giants among them also. But Esau married into them. He married into them. And then you had, let me see, what's this here? Deuteronomy 2 and 23. And the Avims, which dwelt in Hazerim, even unto Asa, the Captorims, which are these people. Captorim, which are Mizraim, which is in the book of Genesis chapter 10. And from here, Casluhim, come Philistine, and then the Philistines went to live here and amongst their brethren, the Captorims. And then the Philistines came here in the land of Canaan and lived among their other brethren, the Canaanites. But they are actually from Mizraim, the Captorim. The Philistines, they're from Captorim. They're from Casluhim, but they went to live among the Captorims, which come forth out of Captor, which is a man. Captor is a man. Destroyed them and dwelt in their stead. So they came and they killed them and destroyed them and dwelt in their stead. So it's a lot of taking over. Just like how we went into the land of Canaan, we took them over, and now now it's the land of Israel. Esau did the same thing in Mount Seir. He went there, killed the man Seir, his descendants, and then started to call himself out of Mount Seir. So now when it's referenced to Mount Seir, it's referenced to him. But I saw a few scriptures where when it referenced Mount Seir, it's actually talking about the Canaanites. Yeah, man. You know? But that's a whole nother story. Lord willing, I'll get to that in another video. So let me read on. It says 26. Shihon, king of Heshbon. Right, so I don't have to read all this. Okay, I'm done with that. So going back to over here, Genesis, 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 15. And David reigned over... Wait, let me see. And the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went. Yeah, right? Did I already read that? Yeah. Right, let me read it again. 14. 2 Samuel 8:14. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom he put garrisons, which are military occupations. And all they of Edom became David's servants. And Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went. Psalms 89 and then 20 on down. And David reigned over all Israel. And David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab the son of Zeruiah, which is his nephew, which is his sister's. This is his sister. This is David, his sister. Zeruiah. I don't even know how you pronounce it. But you can find that here. Zeruiah. Here. 1 Samuel 26 and 6. Then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai the son of Zeruiah, brother to Joab, saying, no, it's in Chronicles, sorry, it's in Chronicles. Here, 1 Chronicles 2:16, whose sisters were Zeruiah and Abigail, the sons of Zeruiah, Abishai and Joab, and Asahel, 3. Now these 3, now Asahel was murdered, and then Joab and Abishai, they murdered Abner. No, he was killed actually. In the time of war, he was killed. He wasn't murdered. These 2 are murderers. They murdered. But the curse came upon him because he's the one that did it. He was just with him because they wanted to avenge their brother. And David said, whosoever smited the Jebusites shall be chief. Okay, Zeruiah, his sister's son, which is his nephew. Right, here you can see that they are nephews and stuff like that. And he was a great man too, because his brother also was a great man. And their other brother, Asahel, they were great men, by the way. Very powerful men, these men. He was a man of war, Joab. Yeah, Abishai too, and Asahel too. But Joab was greater. He killed the giants that harmed his uncle David. He killed that giant when David was injured, because Shammai cursed David, and that curse worked. Even the day on King David's deathbed, in 1 Kings chapter 2. In 1 Kings chapter 2, it says, 1 Kings chapter 2 verse 8, and behold, thou hast with thee Shammai the son of Gera, a Benjamite of Bahurim, which cursed me with a grievous curse in the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at Jordan, and I swear to him by Yahweh, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. Now therefore hold him not guiltless. King David was like, man, I swore to him that I won't kill him. But this motherfucker cursed me, man. And it actually worked. It doesn't specifically go into what happened to him, to King David. But he became, later on, he became kind of weak and stuff like that, you know. For thou art a wise man, and knowest what thou oughtest to do with it unto him. But his hoar head, which is his gray hair, bring thou down to the grave with blood. Kill him. Kill that man. He cursed me. He did that. Benjamin, let me see. Shemai, son of Gera. When the house of David was fighting against the house of Saul. Yeah, the house of David against the house of Saul. Here. No, it was not that. Shemai. Yeah, Shemai cursed David. It wasn't here, man. It wasn't 1 Samuel. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, it was here. Okay, cool. First, 2 Samuel chapter 16, verse 5. And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shemai, the son of Gera. He came forth, and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David, and at all the servants of King David, and all the people, and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. He was surrounded by some strong people. And thus says Shemai, when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial, basically a man of Satan, basically. But yeah, you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. Oh yeah, I'll get to that, Lord willing. I'm in 8 right now, so yeah. Didn't even need to talk about that. But then, yeah. So, yeah, King David remembered him, and King David said, like, to kill him for the thing that he did. He cursed him, and it worked. You know, so let me go on. No, it says here, and Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the host. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder. He was a memorizer. He could record stuff. He could memorize real good. I need that power, actually. Yeah, it wouldn't be too good anyway. So, because I saw some shit that I don't remember anymore. So that's good. Like 2 cups and a girl. I remember the title, but I don't exactly. I think they was eating shit or something like that. Yeah, lucky for me, I forgot that part. Yeah, but anyway, so, and Sadok, the son of Ahithob, and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar, these will later be important, were the priests, and Zerai was the scribe. This one was the one that wrote. He wrote things down. He was the recorder. He had a great memory. If you look up this word that talks about memory, let me see. Here, recorder, Hebrew 21:42. No, hear that? Okay, 21:42. To remember, he remembered stuff. And the scribe, he was a writer. He wrote stuff down to count, recount, relate. To count, give number of, and stuff to number. Basically, he was a writer. Learned man, scribe. He wrote stuff down. Here, tally or record. That is, by implication, to inscribe. Write. He's a writer. A scribe is a writer. And the recorder is the one that mostly he remembers real good. The Most High gave him a mind to remember stuff. Damn. Sometimes I want it, sometimes I don't. I don't need to remember all the evil I did. I don't think that's a good idea. Let me forget. It's good. It's good to forget sometimes. Where was I again? Here. Right. And Benai, also an important name. The son of Jehoiada, was over both the Keretites and the Pelotites. And David's sons were chief rulers. So this man here, Benaiah, was over the Herites and the Pelotites, which were, the Herites were executioners, but there was also Hamites. You know, but Hamites were named after them, of the Crets, the Cretians, which is Captorim, that region, or that little island over there. But they were executioners. So normally, originally, they're Hamites, but they the word means actually executioner. So you had them doing executioner things. They was killing people for King David. If you did something, you die. You know, you did something messed up where there was no turning back. He sent the executioners to come and chop your head off or something like that. And then you had the other ones, which are also people, but the word is a courier, which are people that run and do stuff, guardsmen of an unknown person, perhaps Philistine mercenaries. It was the public, but if you read the scriptures, you see here this word, the Peleites, something like that, is also used for runners. Let me see here in 2 Samuel 8:18, the same word is used. Oh, wait a minute, I just read that actually. No, 15:18. 2 Samuel's 15:18. Let me see. The Gittites are and Hamites from the place of Gath. How you call them again? Goliath of Gath, yeah. This and this. So these were associated onto the Hamites. And if you think that's far-fetched, then the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, the Assyrian Empire, you will always have dark-skinned people in other people's armies. You have East Indians in the armies of America. You have Chinese. You have all races are in the armies of America and Europe, and all the armies upon the planet Earth. If you have great skills and battles, and they can use you, they will use you, boy. You're an expendable. You're a soldier. They're gonna use your expertise because you're loyal to them, unless you're a spy. So, you know, then you're loyal. Basically, you're still used by someone in some army of some nation other than yours, and sometimes your own nation. You know, but you are expendable to a certain degree. You are to be used. That's the better word. Sometimes they're not expendable. Sometimes they'll be like, no. They're gonna go above and beyond to make sure that you are alive because you're an asset unto them. Like, no, we can't lose him. We need him. We need that guy. His guidance, his mind. We need it. And sometimes they'd be like, well, fuck it. You on your own. You signed up for this job. You know, you're expendable. You can die tomorrow and we don't give a shit. But you are very good to us. For us, I should say. Because we can use you. But other than that, fuck it. You on your own. You die. So, yeah. But anyway, these were executioners for King David of the Hamites. But the word actually also means something. Like executioners and these one are couriers, meaning they used to run from place to place to bring messages for him. But you had Israelites do that. You had Ashalites, one of the sons of an Zeru. What was her name again? Here, the first son of, no, not the first son, the first one that got killed. Now, he was not the first, but the first one of her that got killed. He was a courier. He was a runner. He was very fast too. But Abner was kind of fast. He was fast too. He fast enough to kill him. But yeah. So that's that part. And let me see here. So Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went. And here you had one of the blessings of David that was mentioned in the book of Genesis 27, that we would be over them, and we were, because it shows you right here. Wait, let me read this again. Genesis chapter, 2 Samuel 8 and 14. And King David put garrisons in Edom, King David, throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servant. Right? So here, Genesis 27, verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. This is for the whole blessing of the whole nation, but it started with David. Be Lord over thy brethren. So that is what, what was his name again? Isaac blessed Jacob with, right? And let thy mother's brother bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was just scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. Yep, thy firstborn. You lost that one. Oh boy, it's so soul refreshing just knowing this. And Esau trembled. No, sorry. Wow. And Isaac, well, Esau he's trembling right now because we took his firstborn, right? But anyway, and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that had taken venison, which is food, and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. I can't take it back, because back in the days you were a man of your word. You can't take it back after you said something. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a loud and exceeding, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and had taken away thy blessing. And Esau said, Is not he rightfully named Jacob? The word Jacob means supplanter, because it has a meaning. For he had supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. No, you liar. You sold it. You didn't want it anyway. He's lying right there again. He's a liar. Genesis 25, 34, 33. And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Despise means to look down. He looked down on it. It doesn't mean hate. The D, like de-escalate. Specera, which is speculate. How you call it again? Spectacle. To look at. So look down. Down, look at. Look down. He despised it. He didn't even want it. Okay, the blessing we stole. That's another thing. And behold, he had taken away my blessing. Okay, that we stole. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants. And the brethren is Wait a minute. Wait. Right. So the brethren is talking about Esau, but in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So he is not our brother anymore. You know, and we shall rule over the Edomites once that time comes. Now it's their turn. So, on all his brethren have I given him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. That's why Esau has everything on the planet earth. And of the dew of heaven from above. That's why he's always nurtured with all the substances of the world. Everything and anything he has. All the mineral resources and stuff like that. And by thy sword thou shalt live, which is a curse and a blessing at the same. Blessing and a curse at the same time. Live by the sword, die by the sword. But you will take over stuff, you know, and be victorious in war. But you're going to die because you murdered a lot. Even King David was not exempt from having some sort of a curse upon him because he killed a lot. Even though he killed in the name of the Lord. And he had blood on his hand. He had too much blood on his hand, said the Lord. And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So here it shows you that we had Esau in garrisons. Like a garrison is a military occupation. Troops stationed in a town of Esau. So we had troops over him, right? And they became our servants, slaves. But here it shows you that he will break free at one point in time. 2 Kings 8:19. Yet Yahweh would not destroy Judah. Why? For David, his servant's sake. That's why. So we need to thank King David. All of us, we need to thank King David too. You know, we need to thank him also. As he promised him to take him alway a light, and to his children. In his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah, and made a king over themselves. So Joram went over to Zair. Joram is his father is Toy or something like that, and all the chariots with him. And he rose by night and smote the Edomites which compassed him about, and the captains of the chariots. And the people fled into their tents. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. So here, this is where the blessing broke. Here. Oh, sorry. Here. Oh yeah, here. This. When thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So Esau broke the yoke of Jacob from off Esau's neck, from off his neck, and he broke it here. Unto this day. So since then, we couldn't control them anymore. Since then, you know, until this day. But we gonna get you, because we supplanted. You sold your birthright. We didn't deceive you. He knew the importance of the birthright. He looked down on the birthright. We didn't deceive him. We supplanted him because we knew, like, he doesn't care for it anyway. Hey, why don't you sell me that thing? You don't care for it anyway. This is how we went to him. For example, he had gold in his hand, right? He knew gold is valuable, right? And then we talked him out of it, like, hey, why don't you just sell that gold? I mean, you don't like it anyway, you know? I mean, you want food? Give me that birthright over there, then. Give me that gold over there. I mean, you know, we didn't lie to him what the value of the birthright was, you know? He sold it because he was a hungry idiot. And then Yeah, now Esau is a deceiver. He deceives you, talking about, oh, why don't you take this RFID chip over here? You know it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good for you. He's deceiving you. He's not showing you what that thing is actually going to do. Why don't you take this? Why don't you take this? Why don't you take this thing over here? I'm coming in love. I love you. I love you. I want to help you. I want you to do that, bad blood. That's what Esau did. He had bad blood since fucking the time of Genesis. And guess what? He fucked you. He fucked you. If you take that thing, he fucked you. If you roll up your sleeves for a caucus, he's fucking you. That's what he's doing. This is spiritual that this picture was taken like this. To me. When I saw it, I was like, you finna get fucked over. And then I saw the dick. I was like, damn. They fucking him. They fucking him over. They lining up just to get killed. Look at these devils just looking, smiling in the back. This was showing his teeth, laughing. I'm gonna get this nigga. They're dumb. You know? They're laughing at you, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit. But he's a deceiver. There's a difference between a supplanter and a deceiver. He's lying to you. A supplanter is not lying to you. He just takes your place. You know damn well that that place is something of value. You just don't care. Only in the end, that's when you be like, you know what? I think I want my stuff back. You what? You sold it, brother. You can't have it back. I don't want to give it you back because I know the value of it. I know it means something. I know it's important. I'm not going to just give it back to you. I'm killing you there, nigger. I'm killing you for eternity. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did. Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob. Why? Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Now he figured it out like, shit, I should have kept that birthright. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Because he knew that then Isaac was about to pass away. So he wanted to wait. And then after that he would murder Jacob. But Rebecca heard, and then she said, go to my family in Haran. My brother Laban is there. And who was in Haran? Who was in Haran? Genesis 11:32. And the days of Terah were 205 years. And Terah died in Haran. So who was there? Let's hear then. It was Nahor. Nahor was in Haran. Nahor was in Haran along with his father Terah. And Nahor, he stayed in Haran, which is, I had it somewhere here. Here is Haran, near Carchemish and Gozan. So he stayed here. Nahor, he stayed here. But his sister Rebecca went along with him with no, sorry, what am I saying? No. Sarah went with Sarai went with Abraham to the land of Canaan, as it says right here. And then Laban sorry, what's his name again? Nahor stayed in Haran and then got children there. Bethuel eventually, and then Leah. No, sorry man. And then Laban and Rebecca. And then Rebecca came to, taken from, Rebecca was taken from Haran to, man, let me get it, man. It's kind of irritating. Rebecca was taken from Genesis 25:15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother. Nahor is Abraham's brother. And her pitcher upon her shoulder. So Rebekah was in Haran. And then Isaac took her from Haran, or actually the master of, the servant of Abraham. He took her from Haran and brought her to Isaac. And they got children. And the children were Esau and Jacob. And then Jacob went back to here. Jacob went back to here, the kindred family country of Abraham, which is here, which is Haran. And then he went there again. What am I saying? Oh yeah. And then Jacob went to Haran, where his mother came from, and her brother Laban was still living there, of course. And then he took one of his daughters, which is actually Rachel, but he tricked him. Then he gave him Leah to make him stay 7 more years, which is 14 in total, which flew by. And then he came back from Haran and then went into the land of Canaan, and then dwelled there and became there a big people. Right. So that's that part. And then from there, I think, then we went into the land of Mizraim, if I'm correct. No. What am I talking about? I think I mixed it up a lot. But concerning, wait. So we took Laban, we took on Rachel and Leah, and then we came into the land of, that is true. Yeah, that happened. So we came from Haran, and then we came into the land of Canaan, stayed there, 12 brothers, and then there was a famine in the land and stuff like that. And then Joseph got sold to Mizraim, which is Egypt. And then we went there. And let me see what happened then. You know the rest. I'm thinking right now, like, wait a minute, out there. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to cut this because I didn't want it to be this long. I have to cut it in 1 hour. Shit. Was not expecting that. But anyway, so we fought against the Edomites and they broke free eventually. So now going back to over here, 2 Samuel chapter 8 verse 18. Oh yeah, I already read that. So yeah, so with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.